Hi guys, welcome to this video. I'm Kim Peterson, an attorney by profession, a creative by heart, and on this platform I share insights with young professionals on how to effectively navigate being a young professional. Now, as you would have seen by the title of this video, today is part 2 of my Young Attorneys as Brand series. If you haven't watched part 1, do give it a watch and then come right back to this video. I explain in that video why it's important to see yourself as a brand, how I've done so to navigate my career to date, and yeah, let's just jump into this video then. If you look at reputation, it really follows from what you've done, your track record. People begin to know you. So for instance, me, people would know me as an IP attorney, and probably also as a content creator. My brand, however, is that I strategically do XYZ in order for people to know that or to associate me and identify me as an IP attorney and say as a content creator. So I was very intentional from day one of my law degree that I wanted to study IP, and I made it known, and I took an interest in IP, and the same with content creation. I back in the day used to have a blog with a friend of mine, and we went to events and we blogged about the events and that sort of thing. And that was me strategically building my personal brand. Now, I really like the following bit that I'm going to share with you. In the article, I say, young attorneys should note that climbing the corporate ladder essentially means being aware of both substance and form. Now, substance would be your expertise and form would be your brand. So I say this because most of your colleagues will be able to get the job done. You'll see this in law school where many of your colleagues know the law as you do. You'll see this in articles, and the more senior you become as well, that typically when you're in a firm, others can possibly do what you can do as well. Your skills and expertise when it comes to the law is probably not that unique. You can probably write a letter of demand the way another person can write a letter of demand. This is why I say in the article that it has become increasingly important to know then how you may get the job done differently. And then I also continue to say that bearing in mind the distinction between reputation and brand, it is similarly important to ensure that others know this too. So very quickly, in my video on how to secure articles, I mention in there that network is very important, and one of the reasons as to why I mention this is precisely for the reason of other people knowing what you can do. I say in there, and I meant in this article, that you can have skills and expertise and you can manage to do things in a very unique way, and that then sets you apart from your colleagues, your peers, whatever the case may be. But if people don't know what you can bring to the table, no one's going to hire you, no one's going to invite you to client networking events, you see. So this is why something like LinkedIn is so important for junior professionals, and you'll see that I've put content out on that as to why it's important on YouTube as well and LinkedIn. So if you have not subscribed to this channel or followed me on LinkedIn, do that now. So then I go on in the article to say that you need to use social media to your advantage. I say that in building your personal brand, you should realize that social media accounts are ideal for marketing yourself to the world at large. I say that just like you may invest your time in gaining hard skills in the workplace and professional settings alike, I say that you may want to invest some of your time in relaying those hard skills on your professional LinkedIn page as well. So I've just mentioned this. I also say that given the competitive environment that young attorneys find themselves in, that we find ourselves in, being competent is not enough if the right people are not aware of your competency. So you need to ensure that you use LinkedIn strategically to convey your competency, who you are, your personal brand to the world at large. Ultimately, this simply means that you should be mindful of the way you engage on social media in general, just like you would be mindful as to how you engage in the workplace, at a work function, and that sort of thing. Okay, then I mentioned that just as Sheryl Sandberg says. Now, many of you probably know Sheryl Sandberg. She was the COO of Facebook. I'm not sure if she still is. And many of you probably read her book, Lean In. I read it. No, I actually listened to the audio. I listened to the audio book and I absolutely loved it. And she says that there is no such thing as a workplace you and a weekend you. I believe that, and I think it's important for us as young attorneys to, start approaching our day-to-day with this in mind sooner rather than later. Because if you do believe in that distinction, you may conduct yourself in a manner over the weekend that you're like, it's not going to get me any slack in the workplace. But we've heard about the horror stories. And I'm not saying downplay yourself. I'm not saying don't post your bikini pics on Instagram. I am saying be intentional. Do interrogate yourself as to, do I feel comfortable with this being out there for a client to see, for a partner to see, whatever the case may be. And if you are, go for it, and if you're not, then maybe consider not doing so. And what one person may consider fine may not be considered fine for the next person, so also bear that in mind. And I'm not saying don't be yourself, and I'm not saying be boring. I'm saying be mindful about everything that you do. And then I end off the article with a segment on branding your way to the top. I say, evidently, even though all young attorneys start at the bottom of the food chain, only some make their way to the top. So I say the legal environment is fiercely competitive, with many competing with the same skills and expertise. And to stand any chance of success as a young attorney, we must work on our personal brands consciously and consistently while using social media to our advantage. And I say the sooner we do this, the better. Now, as I said, when I wrote this article, I was a CA, a candidate attorney. That was in 2016. I'm currently, whilst shooting this, a senior associate at an IP law firm in South Africa. And by the time you're watching this, I'm probably an associate at an IP law firm in Dubai. I believe that this article, like the insights that I shared at the time, the insights that I was fortunate to have had come to the realization of already at the time, I think, and I know that it's really ensured that I've leveled up. I've managed to and I'm still building my personal brand, and I do believe that had I not had these insights, and had I not been as intentional and as strategic as I was from a very early stage in my legal career, that, as I said in one of my other videos, started as early as my law degree, I don't think I would have managed to achieve the milestones that I have thus far in my legal career. So if you take anything away from this video, I'd say that I think I'm a walking testimony of the power of personal branding and networking and being social media savvy, and I think that you could try it out as well, and if it doesn't work for you, move on. Okay, so I've come to the end of this video. I really hope that you found it insightful, and if you have, I'm going to say please do like it, share it, comment, that sort of thing. Do also follow me on socials and engage with me on socials. I put out a lot of content for junior professionals, and I do so on LinkedIn, here on YouTube, I do so on TikTok as well. And if there's any aspect on this video that you would want me to elaborate on, please let me know, DM me. And also if there's any particular video that you would like me to shoot, let me know. And if you've not read the article that I've just shared with you, I'm going to link it below. I've not obviously verbatim gone and read the entire article, so give it a read and give it a share as well, so that more of us junior professionals and young professionals can actually have a look at it and possibly derive value from it. And that's then all from me for this video, and I would say see you in my next video, or see you in the meantime on socials.